Here There Be Dragons, issue 4 review. We're a little bit, not issue 4, issue 3 review.
Yeah, we're gonna do 4-2.
Yeah.
It's my bad, guys. I don't know what happened. My issue 3, for some reason, from my normal provider, got canceled. Supposedly their supplier canceled it on them,
Which is
and
weird because they were making it sound like the series was canceled.
yeah, it was really weird. But it wasn't. I finally got my issue. I had to order from another comic place, and I got my issue 4. I read this as well. So we're going to be reviewing both of them. Uh, yeah. Last we left off, we had Mortimer Lane was held captive in the White House with Thomas Jefferson. Uh, what did we have so far for that? We started off with the Roman Empire, the samurais
And then we
story.
went over to Hedora with the Nords.
Yeah, so now we have issue 3 opened up with the Egyptian hieroglyphic story that told the story, the book of Exodus, Moses. And it turns out from this story that Mothra was the one that parted the sea. Pretty interesting twist there. They really did a good job like weaving the kaiju into history, and especially with the American history in these 2 issues, you're like, whoa, like you're making all of American history based on kaiju right now.
It is.
It
They just
is.
don't want you to know about
They
it.
don't. Yeah, they don't want you to know about it. Um, yeah. So I thought that was a really cool story, and then apparently Cleopatra was a member of the Mothra cult, and Napoleon is also a member of the Sons. He's then the whole Louisiana Purchase thing is kind of what drew Jefferson on to Mortimer, because he wrote a whole article saying what's going on with this Louisiana Purchase, kind of like speculative of it. Um, and then we also learned that Ragnar Lothbrok, um, Vikings fans here, you know who that is. Julius Caesar, Henry VIII, Kubla Khan, and Joan of Arc were also in the Sons of the Giants. And uh, Jefferson's like, we had a lot of famous people, not all of them, not a lot of historic people, not all of them were good, but they've stood on the right side when it's come to the kaiju.
Yeah, it's
Um,
basically like not everyone always upholds the tenets of the society, but for the
yeah,
most part, when it matters, they do.
yeah. And he kind of is like, he's like, we're in order. He's like, Cleopatra was in a cult. Like, he's like, we're organized. Yeah. And then he continues to tell the Rome story. We gotta love that. We gotta have our Roman Empire on each issue here. This
Oh, we
is
need
great
it. I have
stuff.
a feeling that's what the last issue is going to be.
Yeah,
Conclusion to the Roman Empire.
yeah. Well, I mean, we got a pretty good chunk in the 4th issue too on the Roman Empire. I think we got both. Well, we'll get to that in a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, we find out, we had the whole Rodan, Mothra, Godzilla, uh, and Hedorah were all fighting, and then they united to fight against King Ghidorah, as we've speculated previously. And basically, Jefferson's like, there's aliens, and Lane's like, you want me to believe there's aliens? And it's like, dude, we're talking about kaiju right now. You don't believe there's aliens?
Yeah.
So Mortimer Lane pulls out Cleopatra's dagger, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna kill me with her dagger now?" And then he cuts his hand, and they make like a blood pact. He's like, "No, I want you to join us." And I guess he does join them.
I mean, do you really have a choice?
Yeah, he didn't really have a choice. Yeah, either join them or die is probably his choice. So yeah, he joined them.
Yeah, no, I really liked this issue. I was like, they just keep adding on and on to the lore, and they're just story building the whole time, and it's just adding so many layers to this.
Yeah,
Um, on the surface, it's just like it's very like point A, point B, but like once you start like really getting into it, it's like, oh man, like the possibilities are endless on it, and it's
There's
just
been, and then we'll see in the next issue. There's a lot going on in the background, and they've only told us these little stories from different points in time, but like you could totally just like, if they wanted, they could be like, all right, we're gonna take this story, and we could do a whole series from somebody's point of view during that whole event. I mean, sure, we get a very abridged. Usually, it's like a 3 to 4 page, maybe 5 page spread for the opening art. Like I said, we have the samurai art, the Roman Empire. This one was the Egyptian, and the next
the
issue is going to be the Mayan art.
yeah.
Um, I'm assuming the fifth issue is going to be the Roman, since it's got Ghidorah on the cover.
That's if they just don't wrap up and just completely just
Yeah,
open in on action. I don't know how it's going to be.
yeah. I mean, every issue is pretty much opened with Jefferson telling a story,
Yeah.
and we learn. Should we go on to the fourth issue
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now?
We can go on to issue 4
We're,
right
we're
now.
going to go on to the fourth issue now. We learn in this fourth issue that Jefferson actually learned the whole Roman Empire story from Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
And let's get to that. Let's start from the beginning here now with issue 4. So,
Yeah.
Mayan opening, basically, it tells the story of the conquistadors coming to the west and trying to conquer the Mayans. Fernando Suez, um, the Mayans had been sacrificing daily to Rodan, who they saw as their god of prosperity. And Rodan did come to their rescue, uh, got all the conquistadors out there, and the Mayans were successful. Then Rodan eventually flew away to somewhere unknown. That is the part that Jefferson doesn't know. He says, did he go back to Monster Island? Did he go somewhere else where he was needed? Nobody knows that story yet.
Yeah. Yeah. The way I think this is going to tie in with um, the Louisiana Purchase is the whole Native American Thunderbird story, where like maybe Rodan is the Thunderbird, but then when you think of thunder, you think of lightning, and who's got lightning? King Ghidorah.
Yeah,
So I think it could be one of those two because I do feel like Rodan does fit with that like Thunderbird aesthetic type of thing.
yeah,
So I definitely think there's a kaiju out there in the desert.
yeah,
I think that's where we're getting to, but um, that was just a theory of mine when I was reading it, and I do have one more theory when we get a little bit further into this review, which I think is where it is going with this. So they're in the wagon and they are on their way to Benjamin Franklin's house, and they're talking about this Mayan story, and again they bring up this whole aliens thing being absolutely preposterous,
uh,
and Thomas Jefferson again being like, we're talking about kaiju here. Are aliens really out of the realm of possibility?
yes,
And he starts talking about Napoleon, and he's kind of like, he's always done the right thing when it mattered,
yeah.
you know, and he thinks that this is a legitimate threat.
So
So
he
I'm looking
said,
into it.
yeah,
And the smartest guy that I know is Benjamin Franklin.
yeah, and he tells a whole backstory how Benjamin Franklin had kept it to himself for years. He was the smartest guy he's ever known. He had kept it to himself for years that he believed that there was alien life on Earth that had been there throughout history and it was still living among them. So he had kept his belief of that a secret very close to him and refused to share it with others because he didn't know who to trust and who was possibly an alien. Um, so it's revealed that Jefferson had issued the Lewis and Clark expedition to investigate what was going on in that area where Napoleon was like, something's wrong here. And he's not heard back, and he's concerned. And Jefferson thinks it's about to hit the fan right now. And he tells Mortimer, if this was previous times and circumstances, you wouldn't be sitting next to me right now. We would have killed you. But he's like, I think you have a great mind. uh,
And
and
he was Benjamin Franklin's
yes,
understudy or something,
yes, he was Benjamin
apprentice.
Franklin's apprentice as a young boy. I don't know what that means. Like he was like a lab aide or something, whatever. But Mortimer goes, Benjamin Franklin was a massive, massive Roman Empire fan, like
Yes,
all of us.
yeah,
Um,
everyone.
he believes that it was a very significant uh, empire, and that whole event with the kaiju there, now that Mortimer understands, was what he was talking about. And that's when Jefferson reveals, yeah, Benjamin Franklin is the one that told me that story that
Yeah,
he's been telling throughout the series about the whole Roman Empire.
and he
Uh,
thinks that he has the key to solving the issues,
yes,
but it's in a secret vault in his house.
yes. Uh, Jefferson believes that Franklin had a secret lab, and one of Benjamin Franklin's ideas to defeat the kaiju was to defeat Ghidorah or the aliens was the kaiju, but then he had something else. And we go back to the Roman Empire story now. We kind of get the conclusion of it here, somewhat. Uh, Ghidorah defeated all the kaiju at this point in the story here. Um, and then we see after that whole, it's a really cool fight sequence too that they show with Hedorah, Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla just beating on Ghidorah, but they don't stand a chance. Um, so then after that whole story concludes, we get to see Vice President Burr outside of the window spying on them. And then our passerby civilian is like, hey, is that Vice President Burr? What are you doing here in Philadelphia? And he goes, it's none of your business, and shoots him with a laser pistol. And then he reveals on the final panel to be a Zillion, but not just like your classic Zillion. It is the Final War Zillion, which we didn't really get to see in action as like their true form Zillion, not the human, like the alien body form. The only time we saw them like that was when they were dead, I believe. I don't remember seeing them standing or in action like that.
Yeah,
But pretty cool.
yeah. So that's why I'm like, we might just start off with some action
Yeah.
on this one, on issue 5. But one of my theories that we're talking about Benjamin Franklin's house and we're talking about secret rooms. I don't know if you've heard about this. In 1997, they did an excavation of Benjamin Franklin's basement, and they found a hidden room with 10 chopped up bodies in it.
Oh boy.
So, is that, are those zillions? What's up with that?
Holy crap.
Is he got like an
I did
alien
not
lab
know
or
about
something?
that. Oh
Yeah, it's like one of
man.
those like weird, like, it was not full bodies, it's like pieces of bodies that
Hmm.
they found in there. And they really don't have like a great explanation. They were like, he definitely wasn't a serial killer. Like, that's what they're like. That's basically what they've come up with, was like, he
Like,
didn't kill these
who
people.
knows where those bodies came from? Yeah, he could have. They could have been cadavers.
Yeah, like, it could have been studies or something like that. But that's what they found in this like little like
Hmm.
secret thing that he had in his basement. Uh
Interesting.
so I think that they could be, especially since they're like mentioning a secret room in his house. I think that they could do something with this. Like, he's got like an alien lab or something.
What
Maybe
if
there's a
the
door at in it.
massive
I don't
plot
know.
twist? You got to think Benjamin Franklin, the lightning with the key, chopped up bodies. What if, absolutely crazy, we get Frankenstein conquers the Earth, Frankenstein in the basement, or the
That would be
gargantuan, or one of the gargantuas.
that would be so awesome if that was.
Like out
I
of
don't
left
know if that's where this is
field.
going, but that would be really cool.
Like I was thinking maybe he's got like some like steampunk Mecha Godzilla or something underground,
It's possible.
or maybe a jet jaguar or
There's
somehow.
so many possibilities with this series, and this is why it's my favorite Godzilla comic book running right now, because like anything, like, there's nothing off limits.
Oh yeah,
Like they could literally just do anything. It would be awesome. There's like literally you just said 5 different outcomes, and they would all be cool.
yeah.
Who knows what they're gonna do with this? Um, I don't know how they're gonna wrap it up in one issue.
I really don't know either. I feel like it's gonna have to end in like a cliffhanger and be like,
Yeah, kind of
find
like the
out what
last series
happens
was a little
next.
bit. The last series concluded, but there was a cliffhanger at the end
Yeah,
that kind of made you go, "Oh, they're doing another series." Well, we hope they're doing another series, and I think that's where this is going to go as well. I think there's going to be a third
that's gotta
arc
be.
to this. You had a pretty cool theory though about because it's the Final Wars zillion.
Yeah, I'm saying, they're thinking a greater threat's coming. What if, all right, Ghidorah did get defeated somehow during the Roman Empire? What if we get that conclusion to that story in this issue, in the opening, probably? Because if it's going to follow suit with the previous issues for issue 5, we're going to get the Roman Empire. Ghidorah got defeated. We're not getting Mecha King Ghidorah. I mean, we could because they're aliens. We already
Yeah,
saw he's
we
got a
could.
laser gun. Um, But what if we get Monster X Kaiser Ghidorah instead? Because we got the Final Wars aliens. It's like
Yeah,
an upgraded Ghidorah.
yeah. No, I love Monster X is honestly my favorite thing from Final Wars. It's such a cool idea, and I would love to see it in a comic book because has Monster X been in a comic book?
I want to say it might have been in Rulers. It's been so long. It's definitely appeared, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
I
I
gotta look.
I'm not a big
It's
Godzilla comic book guy. I don't know much before the
There's
2020s,
been so many comics. I can only retain so much.
but
You
like
know,
I don't know. To me,
I
Monster
feel
X was always the coolest, and I felt like they got the order wrong. It should have been Ghidorah, Kaiser Ghidorah, and then he has to consolidate power into a perfect form, and that would be Monster X. But they did it the other way around, where Monster X was like the cool humanoid, go fast, and then Ghidorah was the big powerhouse.
yeah.
Either way is fine, but I like my DPZ transformations. So
Let's let's see. I'm trying to see. Final Wars. Godzilla number 12. Rage
okay, so
Across Time.
start spinning stuff.
Yeah, he's appeared in a couple. Yeah, Rage Across Time. Okay, I did think he appeared in there. All right.
So we're I hope that's what they do.
Yeah, we'll
They could
see.
go with classic Ghidorah, or maybe they could do like a weird like this is the alien Ghidorah, but this is the Ghidorah with the door rats Ghidorah, and then he's gonna come back, bring
Well,
back
he
some weird Heisei time travel stuff.
and he did recently. I forgot about that. He did recently appear in the Mecha Godzilla Rivals on screen though. He wasn't actually in action there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm really bummed that this is going to be over soon. I mean,
Yeah, but
I feel like
hopefully
it's
go for a third
totally.
series.
Yeah, I think we're getting a third series. We
There's
have to.
so much they could do with this because this
Yeah.
is just we could do. Oh, man, just think of every major global conflict
I
that's
I
happened over the last 200 years. They could do a series for each one of them.
I really liked the first series, but this one is really damn good.
Yeah, I think the first one was vital to setting up, and it was a
Yes.
cool pirates like that's just
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
But
Godzilla and
like it was
Pirates.
vital to setting up this universe.
Yeah.
If you just started with this, people would be like, there's
Yeah.
not enough kaiju action. What's this whole secret society thing? The fact that they had that blowout ending on the first series really built this up to be like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm really invested in this storyline. What's with
Yeah.
this cult? What's going on?
Yeah.
So
You
I
could
think it was necessary.
Yeah. I mean, you could totally read this from
You could read
beginning
it
to end
solo.
without that,
100% you could read it solo.
but you're just missing so much without that first
Yeah,
series
there's
too.
so much lore that they
Yeah,
just built with that.
yeah, 100%. Uh, yeah, can't wait to see where it goes next. Gonna absolutely looking forward to issue 5. Can't come soon enough.
Yeah. Super duper looking forward to it. And yeah, 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 no, we're gonna download it on Apple Books as soon as it's available and read it.
And I'm gonna wait for mine in the mail.
Yes, you wait like a month for
I'm
yours in the mail.
I'm the hold up all the time, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's just because
I
I'm
need a
cheap.
local comic book store that's just closer to my house. There's nothing within reach. If I hit the
Yeah,
lottery, I would open one myself.
yeah. I was actually talking about the other day about it to one of the guys at work about it because he lives local to me too, and I was like, yeah, because I was reading the book at work while I was on break, and I was like, yeah, I just don't have like a good like local comic book shop near us. And he's like, oh, he's like, there's one, but he's like, I'm pretty sure they're just like a money laundering operation. He's like, I've never seen a person in it.
That's a shame.
Because I
Yeah.
told him, I'm like, yeah, like there's this one, but they don't have really good reviews, and I heard they charge like way over like retail price for the books and stuff. And he goes, yeah, he's like, I'm pretty sure that they're a money laundering operation. He's like, I've never seen anybody enter that place. He goes, but
Yeah.
they're always in business.
Yeah. Yeah. With the digital age, I know you love the digitals. I love my physicals. It's tough too. It's a tough business to open and run. Uh,
Yeah,
it's only so much you could do.
yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
You gotta
But
fill your store with pop figures.
yeah, honestly, that's 100% true. To be honest with you.